Welcome, Cavalier fans, to Coach's Corner. Post week 3, leading into week 4. Crazy how fast the time goes. So recap of the Marion game and lead into the Fort Recovery game. First of all, I want to thank you for tuning in, those of you who watch and hopefully continue to watch. The Cavaliers come to week 4 with an unusual 1-2 record. But we've been there before. My first year as head coach, actually, in 2000, I think it was 2010, we were 1-2 and came back and rattled off several games in a row and got in the playoffs and made a good run at it and got in the state finals against Ursuline and lost in that final game. But that was a good fun team with Reese Klinke and Ernie Ramo and Lumpy Post and that whole group of guys, and with the help of some good young guys, and so good rally with those guys, and as we look at our season 1-2, certainly that Kenton game is always an entertaining game. We come right back with Clinton, Massey, and Marion, 2 really good football teams and 2 really good defensive teams. So we're disappointed in the losses, but probably not as much frustrated as you might think, because of when you lose games, you go back and review and figure out what happened, why did we lose, what were the factors in those losses, and we had chances to win in both of those. Some of the frustrating part, I guess, is execution, I guess, on offense, and when you play good defenses, that's what they do to you, especially Marion, with all that pressure they put on. But that's the disappointment. Turnovers is certainly really probably what got us the most in a couple of those losses. We've given up 2 scores at 10-yard drives, and so that's a little disappointing. But not really so much frustration because of the attitude and the effort that our team's playing with. Our defense is really playing outstanding, good enough to win all 3 of those games. Offensively, we're still kind of finding our way a little bit. We've got a lot of young guys on offense. Sam is playing really hard and knows what to do and knows what's going on, but he's young as far as experience goes. And so when you play good defenses that put a lot of pressure on, he's still learning, and he's going to keep getting a lot better, and his attitude's great. So we're gonna try to improve and get better and get back on the winning track. So last week against Marion, it's what we knew it would be. For several years it's been a defensive battle in those games. It's just hard to score. We play good defense and mix things up defensively and give you lots of looks and blitz some. And they're kind of the opposite. Where they're going to line up, but then they bring blitzes from all over in different places and move around and what they're going to do. It's just whether you can protect long enough and get some good plays. And when they have good players doing that, it makes it more difficult. So we had some good opportunities. Good opportunities. We had 205 yards. They had 204 yards. So it was up and down a little bit. Several punts by both teams, and we stop them in that fourth quarter, and we get down to about the 35, I think, and just didn't make enough plays, so it was a if you're a fan of football, the atmosphere was awesome, the weather was awesome, it was just a great night for high school football, and as disappointing it was that we didn't win, it was a good high school football game. So we're disappointed in 1-2, but we're not we're not throwing in the towel by any means, and we're going to keep working and getting better, and hopefully that translates to wins, because it's hard when you invest so much as players and coaches and you don't get the results like you're accustomed to. It's hard, and so we got to keep them together, reload, retool, however you want to say that, re-energize, regroup, all those re's in there. That's where we're aiming for, and so hopefully we can get a victory this weekend. So that takes us to heading to Fort Recovery, 7:30 at Fort Recovery this week. Last year we made some really good special teams plays and played well and on defense, and so I can't remember the exact score, but we won by a couple touchdowns and did a good job there. They come back offensively with I think probably the best pure tailback, running back in the league this year with Will Holman. He's going to get the ball 30, 40 times a game, and I think he's averaging around 30 carries this year so far. They go a lot of one back, so they do some different things with two tight ends and two wideouts, and sometimes put a wing in there. That's a lead blocker, really. So the concern is that you stop him and not give him a bunch of big plays, and so that's our goal, is to number one, stop Will Holman and get lots of tacklers to him, and run to the ball and maybe get them a little bit frustrated and make them do something different. And that's the goal on defense. Offensively, they're a little more of a standard defense, I guess, unless they change. Not quite as much blitzing and things like that, but you never know. So offensively, the turnovers, we've got to try to eliminate those and most importantly, score when we have good drives and get points on the board. I guess everybody wants to do that, but we've had some opportunities that we didn't quite finish the drives, and so we're looking forward to scoring some touchdowns on offense and hopefully have a good plan for the kids and so that we can make some big plays. Injury report wise, Mitch Niekamp is out of his boot finally, and he has some kind of thing that inserts in his shoes, and he started to jog a little bit today. So hopefully we'll get him back, maybe for St. Henry, I don't know, but I would think for the next week for sure against Parkway. Caleb Dippold, unfortunately, had a concussion last weekend, and so Caleb is playing really, really well, outside linebacker and inside receiver, making catches and making tackles and playing really, really good solid football on both sides of the ball. So that's a big loss for us. And we'll move some guys around a little bit. Alex May will start at outside linebacker, and at times he'll come out and we'll bring in one of our sophomore defensive backs in different defenses. So that's disappointing for Caleb especially, and hopefully he recovers and gets back for the St. Henry game. So Mitch and Caleb are really the two guys that we're going to miss this week. A couple of the big boys, Thomas and Big Cody, were banged up a little bit last week, but they're fine, and the rest of the crew is ready to go and go over to Fort Recovery, 7:30 on Friday night. It should be the weather sounds like it's going to be good again. So a good battle here. As you know, Fort Recovery is in our region this year, so this is a huge game for Computer. It's obviously a huge game in the MAC. Obviously we only have one game in so far, so you never know what can happen. So ideally we want to obviously win this game and get back on the track. So I want to thank all the fans and all the support that we continue to get for Coldwater football. And it was if you weren't at the game last week, it was just an awesome experience with so many people. And I don't know, the 50-50 was something like $13,000 take home, and that's exciting. And so we feel good about our program. We don't feel good about our record right now, but we feel good about our kids and our players, and I think they're still bought in. And like I said, we're going to regroup and go over to Fort Recovery and try to get a victory. So hopefully we'll see you there.